Hey, what's up guys? It's OneVeracity here, and as always I have a great review for you guys today. So in my last video on the De La Souls, I started talking about the Nike SB Tiffany Low and the Tiffany Dunk High and kind of my feelings on those. So I thought it'd be great to expand on this with a full review of the Tiffany Dunk High. Afterwards we'll follow up with a comparison to the Tiffany Dunk Low. So just let's get started. Alright, so to look at the box, it has that Tiffany color. So this is the current color scheme. These were released in 2014, and this color scheme for the Nike SB boxes has continued until today. As you know, there's different series of boxes, and this is the current color scheme right now. I personally think it was inspired by the shoe that started off, which is the Tiffany Dunks. So standard box, standard paper, and most importantly, the shoes. Now, I'm not going to talk about any issues of quality or comparison right now. I'm going to get into that when I actually have the lows out. We'll just go through kind of a straight review of these as if this was the only focus of the video, okay? So, as you guys know, this is the follow-up to one of the most famous Nike SBs of all time, the Tiffany Dunk Low. It was designed by one of the co-owners of Diamond Supply Company, Nicky Diamonds, of course, obviously that's his nickname. And Diamond Supply Company, obviously great skate company, and they took inspiration from Tiffany's jewelry. So I'm sure as you guys know, Tiffany's, this is the color that is used on all of their boxes, all their branding, etc. So very identifiable with beautiful diamonds. So what a perfect shoe to do for collaboration with Diamond Supply Company. So to start off, we have that great teal leather back here. Followed up by now this is a black leather with embossing, kind of looking like a crocodile or alligator, again bringing that luxury vibe to the shoe. Then you have a silver swoosh, metallic silver. A lot of their jewelry features silver as the setting for a lot of their jewelry. As you guys I'm sure know, if you have a mom or a girlfriend that maybe likes nice jewelry, or they do make men's jewelry as well. So they got the silver swoosh, the metallic silver, really getting that shine on there. Continue around the toe, you again have that black embossed leather with that white stitching. Then you have the teal on the toe. Black laces is the ones I chose to keep. Then you have a teal tongue, and most importantly, that Diamond Supply Company logo right there, really tying the whole theme together and making sure you know it's the collaboration. Looking on the back, you have a that same leather pull tab right there. It's again embossed black leather, and then you have some more white stitching, or almost a silver stitching, a little bit gray. Not as white as this, but not exactly a gray, so close to it. Then you have a white midsole, white stitching, and an all-black outsole. Now, they did come with another lace choice. They came with the Tiffany teal laces. Now, I chose to use the black laces because I kind of thought it broke it up a bit. As you can see, the shoe kind of fades together. It doesn't really give it any definition. So, while I love this lace color and I love this color, I think for these shoes, it was best to really just leave it the way it was, with the black laces kind of divided up. So, that's your basic review of these shoes. They came out in 2014, if I forgot to mention that. About 9 years after the original's release. So now let's get to the comparison to the Dunk Lows. So these are one of my favorite pairs in my collection, one of the most cherished pairs that I do. I'll just get rid of the box over there. And I absolutely love them. I mean, when I got these shoes, these are shoes that I had dreamed about, that I had loved, and that I wanted for so long. So when I finally got them, I was so excited. I had to obviously get the highs because they did come out. My feeling personally is, as I mentioned in the De La Soul video, that for the absolute classics like this, let's leave well enough alone and not kind of retro them, if you will, in a high top. But for some of the less classic ones like the white De Las that I had, I think that that's cool to see a new interpretation of it, kind of bring the new fans into something that they might not have been able to be exposed to earlier on. But for the classics, I think they kind of should have left it the way it was. And if they were going to redo it, I think they should have done it in the same quality that they used to produce Nike SBs in. I'm sure if any of you guys have had older Nike SBs, you really notice that the quality and overall comfort has kind of gone down as they've produced more. Usually you would realize like economies of scale and be able to buy goods cheaper the more you produce, but instead they decided to go the other direction and make it a little bit cheaper. Not by any means poor quality, but just not as good quality. So the two key things that I want to focus on for the comparison here are the embossing and the stiffness of the leather. So we'll start off with the embossing. So the first thing that jumps out at me is, and I hope you guys can pick this up. If not, you'll just have to kind of take my word for it. Here you can see that the embossing is very flat. right? It's a very flat look, okay? Now, if you compare it to the Dunk Lows, you can see that's very shiny. You can see the light reflecting off of it, and there's also more detail in the embossing. It has, smaller scales or pattern, if you will, and it really mimics the look of what a real, like, genuine, like, crocodile would look like, crocodile skin would look like, whereas this seems more like just kind of an attempt at that, if you will. So not really fully delivering on it. This has the proper sheen to it, the proper shine, and also the proper pattern to really give it that effect where, you could think maybe it actually is real, or at least is a very good imitation. And then, so that's the first thing that really jumps out at me. This whole shoe overall just looks flat to me. Kind of falls, it doesn't excite me as much. And this shine is always something that I loved about this shoe. So then, next is the quality of the leather. Now, this is obviously something you might just have to take my word for, but I mean, I've worn these a lot, and I did buy them. I actually bought them used at a Dunk Exchange. So they had a previous owner before me, and you can see the creasing on the toes, right? Not very substantial. I mean, there is some, but it's not that much, especially for the number of times I've worn them and how old they are. These shoes are from 2005, mind you. Now, I've worn these shoes once, and you can see that they've already creased on the toe right here. And it's not significant yet, but I mean, that's one time of wearing. I've worn these like 20, 30 times, and I don't know how many times the person who enjoyed them before me owned them. So right there, that speaks to the stiffness of the leather. This leather is soft to the touch, really high quality, something that nowadays you would see on like a designer shoe, like a Balenciaga or a Louboutin. And this is just what I would expect kind of from Nike, unfortunately. It's not bad, but it's stiffer, it's harder. When you touch the back here, it feels soft, right? The cushioning's better. Here, the cushioning on the heel is stiffer, the leather is stiffer, and it just overall has a stiffer, flatter feel to it that I don't love. So I have a couple issues with the Nike with the Diamond, the Nike SB Diamond High. Sorry, Tiffany High, what am I saying? Is that one, I'm not sure it should have been made, but if it was, I would have liked to see it made so it was literally an exact copy of these. Same quality leather, same sheen on the embossing, and it kind of just didn't deliver on that. So, if I couldn't have these, I would have loved to have these because they're a classic shoe, something that I would have always wanted. So I'm very happy that I have them in my collection. I know I rarely say negative things about sneakers. I'm always positive. I do like them, right? Of course, I've worn them, I'll wear them, but these are just so near and dear to my heart that I wish that these held up to the same standard. So, I don't know, you guys can let me know your thoughts on them, what you guys think about the quality of newer Nike SBs, what you guys think about them kind of retroing, if you will, the older Nike SBs in the comments. I'd love to, hear from you guys. Let's keep it, like, positive and constructive. Let's not get mean or anything, right? Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will certainly be back soon to do another one. Thanks, guys.